Who's most likely to be a CEO, right? Who's most likely to do this? Who, that kind of thing. Who's most likely to get an endowment named after him? And they say Kevin Sauer, and I go, that's very funny, and they go, turn around. And I turned around, and then they walk in with this check and a big board with the donors on it. So it was really cool, yeah.
$1,009,984 was gifted to Coach Kevin Sauer of the Virginia Women's Rowing Program as a surprise endowment. So what does it mean for the future of Virginia rowing? How did it happen? And what does it mean to have Coach Kevin Sauer's name on the endowment?
So John Ho, who was our kind of sport liaison in the VAF, the Virginia Athletics Foundation, which is kind of the fundraising arm of Virginia Athletics, he approached me and he had an initial donor who had pledged basically $250,000 and he wanted to know what to do with it. So John and I really worked together, and John worked with some of the more historical, like bigger donors to UVA rowing, and then I reached out to the alums because I'm an alum of Virginia rowing, so it was a really fun project to connect with everybody. And we set this big goal that we wanted to hit $1 million and over 50% giving rate, like alumni giving rate for the gift when we presented it to Kevin at the end of the year. And at first we were like, oh, these are crazy goals, like we don't know if we can hit it. And then as May started rolling around, like end of April, beginning of May, we were like, oh my gosh, maybe we can do this.
And then when did you guys kind of decide, okay, let's not let Coach Sauer know, let's keep it secret?
Oh, that was from the start. So John approached me and he said, do you think we should keep this a secret? And I said, yes, because I think that alumni love doing things to surprise Kevin, and Kevin is such a humble person that he wouldn't ask for the money for something that's in his name. That's just not who he is.
With all the money raised, it came time to surprise Sauer, and the plan worked to perfection.
I got a lot of feedback from people that saw that. He goes, yeah, that was a pretty good look on your face there, dude.
I mean, he was speechless. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot to see, how many people you've impacted and how many people care about you. And I don't think he ever really expects anything in return except, your best effort and 100%. I think that's really all he's ever expected. So to receive this endowment and transform our program, I think it meant the world to him. And I don't think he expected it at all.
But it was really cool to see how much of an impact it made on him, and for him to see how much of an impact he had made on everybody else's life.
Over 350 people that contributed to that endowment. What does that kind of say about this program, and what does it mean to you?
A lot. I was pretty emotional. Just the fact that many people gave back to the program, that it meant that much to them. And the amount of parents that gave back, I think it was like 90% of the parents that people looked at, went to, gave, and 50-some% of the alumni. That's crazy fundraising numbers. That doesn't happen. And so it really meant a lot to me. Been here a long time, and that people value the program that much and what it means to them and what how they want to help.
He wants what is best for all of his athletes as people. That's the most important thing. And I think that in some ways he was a little bit ahead of his time in that, and people don't forget that. And one thing that came through loud and clear on all of these alumni calls that we had prior to presenting him with the endowment and after was how much he just taught athletes to believe in themselves. People would say, we went into every race believing that we could win it. He just made us believe in ourselves so much, and he helped us to appreciate the hard work and the grind every day. So
he doesn't just care about you as athletes, but as people too. And I think that's why I ultimately chose to come to Virginia and row for Virginia, because you can just see it immediately, even when the recruiting process, that he really cares about his team and his athletes. I think, with athletics, you learn grit and hard work and all that kind of stuff. But I think with our team specifically, he's just created an environment where I've learned humility, compassion for my teammates. We're just a big family.
And what do you plan to do with that endowment, specifically plans for the
Well, so like any endowment, so the university has $10 or $11 billion endowment, is that you get a spinoff from that. And there's regulations for how much that spinoff can be. It's depending on the year and the amount and how much was raised and stuff like that, 3.5% to 5%. So it's not a huge spinoff, but if UVMCO, the University of Virginia Investment Management Company, makes more than that, 30% in a given year, which they have. That's why our university endowment is so large, because they've done such a great job of managing money. Then the rest of that, over that, goes back into the endowment. So if we make 30% in a given year and we get 5% as a spinoff, 25% goes back. So now the endowment just grew by $250,000 in 1 year. So that's really, really cool. And so that spinoff, we're looking at what we can use for it. In a given year, if we don't feel like there's something that we really need, that'll just get added back in and grow the endowment. But I think we'll probably find every year that we want to use it in some way.
We have our annual operating budget, but we'll be able to use this to help us on top of that. So if there's something, if we want to take additional athletes to a race, or if we want to hire somebody to come in as a consultant coach or something like that, like there are different ways that we can use it that are just going to enhance what we're doing.
Virginia rowing is his legacy. And even when, after he's retired, I mean, he's still going to have such a hold and like presence in the boathouse on the team. And I think this endowment is going to be this huge step forward in getting Virginia rowing on a national, like our national title, and like getting us up there. And I think it's so great that this endowment that's going to do that has his name on it. And so it'll always be there.
What would be your message to the parents, the alumni, the past athletes you've had that contributed to your endowment?
Thank you. Thank you a lot, and it's going to make a difference. It is making a difference already. And that's, that means a lot that people want to give back and help the program.
The endowment will look to take Virginia rowing to the next level as the Cavaliers look to claim their first national championship since 2012. I'm Ian Valor, WUVA.